Don't break me, I bruise easily, the source of both your love and misery. I am steady beating endlessly while you are dozing, dreaming pretty things. I don't work for free. Please take care of me. This is a message from your heart, most devoted body part, taking blood and making art. This is a message from your heart, most devoted body part. You could thank me for a star. This is a message from your heart. Don't hurt me, I bleed constantly, my efforts leave me, but flow back swiftly, my rhythm soothing like raindrops steady on foggy windows, and you gaze outwardly. I don't work for free. Please take care of me. This is a message from your heart, most devoted body part, taking blood and making art. This is a message from your heart, pounding away into the dark. You could thank me for a star. This is a message from your heart. This is a message from your heart. Every time you sleep, bum, 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 bum. Every time you eat, bum, 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 bum. Every time you cry, bum, 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 bum. Every time you love. This is a message from your heart, your most devoted body part, taking blood and making art. This is a message from your heart, pounding away into the dark. You could thank me for a star. This is a message from your heart.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Kina Grannis. Wow. That was fantastic. The new single is Message from Your Heart, and it has been heard or seen by some 100 million people, I understand.
Crazy, yeah.
100 million people. 97 million people got a chance to hear that song during the Super Bowl,
Yes.
which was featured in a commercial, which you earned the opportunity through a contest. What's the story
Yes.
on that?
Well, Doritos put on a contest called Crash the Super Bowl, and basically all you needed to enter was an original song and original video. And I figured, hey, why not? That's easy, not thinking anything of it. And then I made top 10, and a few months of crazy voting and YouTubing ensued, and then it happened, and it was probably one of the craziest moments ever.
YouTubing, 40 million people checked you out on YouTube from what I read.
It was quite overwhelming at first. It happened pretty quickly, but YouTube was an amazing tool and still is for me.
Unbelievable. It's helping so many people, you know, getting discovered on YouTube, and the technology today is just amazing.
Definitely.
Twitter and tweet and Facebook and all kinds of things. You can reach people around the world. Now, you have a very exotic look. And for the benefit of those who are seeing you on the Voice of America television network or on our website, you are a mixture of different looks, different cultures.
Yes.
One of those is Japanese, which is near and dear to my heart personally. But you have some other mixtures in there, too. What are the different cultures are?
Let's see. English, Irish, Scottish, Dutch, French, Welsh, German. I think that's it.
And how many of those languages do you speak?
Oh, dear. Well, I studied a bit of French in high school, and it got pushed out in college when I learned my Japanese. So I speak English.
Yeah, well, there you go. Can you speak Japanese?
Only a little.
A little bit. Skoshi desu.
Yes, very good.
Well, I studied too. Not as hard as you, though. Stairwells is her album. And why did you call the album Stairwells?
Well, it kind of came from college. When I went to USC, that was kind of my time when I started exploring myself as an artist. And I was still very shy, and so I didn't really want to play while my roommate was studying or, you know, outside where all these people were walking by. So I retreated to the stairwells. For one, they're really fun to play, and it just sounds awesome.
Acoustics.
Yeah, amazing acoustics. And secondly, it was just pretty, you know, no one was really going in there. So I went there to write and play, and it kind of is where I grew into an artist. So when I was naming this album, I thought of that and kind of wanted to pay tribute to the place that allowed me to kind of find myself.
That's great. That's a great story.
Thank you.
Now, I mean, you know, it's an interesting career choice for someone who is kind of shy.
Yeah.
No, I mean, obviously you could have become a professor in psychology or something. That's what you studied. But you decided to, you know, to fight it out and deal with your fears. And what do your parents have to say about this? Are they supportive of the career choice?
My parents have been incredibly supportive. I'm sure it helps that I got a college degree. I'm sure that made them feel better. But from the beginning, they've been behind me 100%, and they're actually really involved in what I do. So I'm very, very lucky to have
And you
them.
have other siblings. You have, I think,
do.
a brother and a sister? Or?
Two sisters,
Two
older
sisters?
and younger.
And are they into music as well?
They sing with me when I can get them to my
really?
shows. Yeah, they're both really talented. They both played violin too, and also are really involved in what I'm doing. So.
And I asked you before we went on the air about acting, because people looking, you know, I'm sure they see that you're a very beautiful girl. What about acting? Is that something that you'd like to do maybe one day?
The one acting, well, my first acting experience was in high school. We were doing a skit, and it was in front of 20 people I knew very well. You know, not so scary. And I ended up crying in the bathroom.
Really?
So that's kind of where my feelings toward acting are stemming from. However, recently I've kind of, you know, done a bit of acting with some friends for some shorts, and I actually had a lot of fun with it. So I'm starting to open my mind, but it still scares me.
But you've done, you know, you're on tour right now. And so, I mean, as you grow as an artist and as a person, you gain more confidence. I'm sure that, you know, that acting might not be so scary. Because, you know, if you do a film like movies, you don't have to act in front of an audience.
This is true.
You can hide behind five, producer, director, whatever, and have fun doing that. Now, this tour that we mentioned, is this an international tour, or is this just in the U.S.?
This is just U.S., and we're doing the East Coast now, and then in the fall we'll be hitting up the West Coast.
And then how about internationally? Any plan to perform?
I would love to. We've spoken about it, but I haven't actually set anything in stone, but definitely trying to get over there.
That's great. The album Stairwells is her first album, Kina Grannis. Now, as a songwriter, I'm sure you write many, many songs. You know, there's hundreds of songs. You're always writing songs, typical songwriter. How did you pick the 12 or 13 songs for your debut CD? Because that's an important decision, to narrow it down to, 12 or 13 for the very first CD people are going to hear from Kina Grannis.
It was hard. Luckily, I had 3 CDs before this that I put out on my own very small scale. So those songs I felt like had already done their thing. And it was mostly my newest songs. So they were the songs that I felt were, best written or closest to my heart at that moment. And I did want to make sure that they kind of felt to get, one thing. So there were a few songs that didn't quite make the cut. But for the most part, it was the songs that at that moment were most relevant to what I was doing.